Streaming live from the beautiful city of Hollywood, Florida, USA. This is SoFloRadio.com. Z Nation. Z Nation. Where consciousness is queen, love really is the answer. And making a difference is on the menu. Z Nation. Organic beats and inspiring treats. Get your weekly dose of vitamin Z now. This is Z Nation on SoFloRadio.com.
Namaste, y'all. Welcome to our very first Z Nation interview via Skype. We are so excited about today's show. So welcome, everybody. This is Zayna de Gaia, and you are tuning in to ZNationRadio. We broadcast right out of Hollywood, Florida, and we're on SoFloRadio.com. So today we have a really special guest. We're going to be getting into a conversation that I think is really important for all of us right now, with Ling Wong, who is somebody that I've been following for a while, and I'm so excited to have her on the show. She is really an inspiration to me, so I'm excited to get to know her and introduce you all to her and what she does. She is a health, life, business coach, and just really passionate about what she does. So we're going to get into that in just a few minutes. So I wanted to talk a little bit about a topic that's been coming up lately. And it's, a couple of years ago, maybe 3 years ago, I embarked on a journey where I embarked on a bus with my partner Moses, and we traveled the country on this veggie oil bus. And we traveled the country and we visited over 108 yoga studios, festivals, conferences, and we went and we taught everything we knew to share at all these different locations. Why am I sharing this with you? I'm sharing this with you because, nobody came up to us and said, listen, we're going to hire you to go around the country and do this and teach yoga classes. We created this opportunity for ourselves, and had we not taken 1 year to prepare for this tour, what's predictable and likely is it wouldn't have happened. If we just waited around for something to happen or somebody to discover us. I don't know of any yoga talent agencies yet, though that could be a really good thing.
That'd be fun.
But it's the same thing with Z Nation. Nobody came to me and said, you would be really great at producing this podcast, and we want to have you on the show. Like, it's something that we created and we've been creating, and we created it from scratch, from nothing, with an idea, a vision, an intention, and passion to sharing good things in the world, and really a passion to make this world work in a way that, brings in love and compassion and people really fulfilling on their purpose here on the planet. So, had we not created that bus tour where we got to really create ourselves, it was an opportunity for me to step into, I started doing women's circles. I didn't know what the heck I was doing, and I did it, and I created myself as, a women's healing circle healer. I created myself as a yoga teacher. I created myself as a kirtan artist. I created myself as a leader, and it was inside of the context that I had created this tour, right? We had created this tour, and we elevated really our own leadership, but also how the world viewed us, right? Like, all of us have the ability to do that, to create your own enterprise, to create your own brand, to create your own business around you. So really becoming like the CEO of your enterprise And, it may not occur to you that way. You may do massage, for example. It may not occur to you that your massage business is your empire and you're the CEO.
Mm-hmm.
And looking at it from there, then you can really treat it like a real business and really put yourself out there. Because, we all have in our hearts something that's just waiting to be expressed. And sometimes we wait for that sign, for that person to tell us that we're good enough to do it, for the encouragement. And I'm asking you, please stop waiting. It doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, from my experience, the more I teach, the more confident I become. I didn't start out confident as a teacher at all. I was actually, I'm a perfect example of somebody who was terrified to teach yoga. I actually took a break from teaching for a couple of years because I would be more stressed out after I taught than when I started. And my whole body would hurt, so I had to stop. But I kept putting myself out there, even though I was scared, even though I didn't think I was good enough to do what I was doing. And the more I did it, and the more I tripped, and the more I fell, and the more mistakes I made, the more I learned. But more importantly, the more confident I became. See, when I started to teach, I started to really get the difference that I make with people. It didn't matter if I had one student in class or 10. It gave me the experience of knowing myself as a healer, as a leader, as somebody that when I speak, it makes a difference. And had I sat on the sidelines just watching and waiting for things to happen, waiting to have my teachings perfected, waiting to be able to do a perfect sun salutation so I can show it to my students, any of that, had I waited, I would still be in the stands watching and, hoping that I would one day be that person who's out there in the world. So I'll tell you guys, it doesn't take perfection. You don't have to be like anybody else. It's just having courage. And courage means that you take actions, even if you feel the fear. Or especially if you feel the fear.
That's when you should. That means your body's telling you to take a risk. Yes. Do something. Don't wait around for the perfect moment because there's never a perfect moment. You just got to go and do it. And yeah, your first class might be a little weird or whatever. But as you become confident and you have your own practice, it's going to show. And just, advice, just be you. Because your story, your mess or whatever, all the happy and sad moments is going to come out in your class. And you're going to connect with people.
Yeah. And, I know I used to have that a few years ago. I would look at what people are doing and say, oh, she's already doing that. I can't do that. And that is such a lack way of thinking because there's enough room for all of us to do exactly what it is that we want to do, exactly the way we want to do it. And you're going to serve the community that you are meant to serve. And here's the thing you want to know. Moving from, for example, if you're in a corporate environment or corporate job, or you're in a job that you don't want to be in right now, you don't have to go from 100% corporate job to 100% yoga teacher or Reiki healer or whatever it is that you do. That's actually, it's ambitious, but it's not realistic.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if you try to do it that way, it's discouraging. So, you take it gradually. You start teaching a little bit and you get your feet wet and you jump in the pool and, and then you do it again. And then you increase your classes with time. And, eventually, gradually, you move from 100 in your old job to 100 in exactly what it is that you want to be doing. And, those gradual steps allow you to, integrate slowly into this new life. And it doesn't have to happen like overnight. And I think a lot of people try to do that. They quit their jobs, which I'm not saying don't quit your job. Sometimes it's what you need to do to get yourself going, But you may quit your job and maybe get another job to sustain you while you build your business.
Yeah, so you're not a fish, you're not trying to breathe for water.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, I'm a perfect example. Like I finished my teacher training and then I quit, and if it was what I needed to do, but again, everybody is circumstance, and you got to look at your circumstance and be real with yourself. Like, okay, can I just like go and quit and make sure that all my foundation, my stuff is rooted? Because it's hard to create when you don't have money to pay for your electricity bill, or you don't have money to pay for your rent or whatever. So it's like really being mindful and realistic, you know, like, yeah, we're light beings, but we're still human.
Yes.
And we still live in this world. So like, don't forget that.
Yeah. Yeah, survival mode is not a mode to like manifest and create from. It just doesn't lend to that creativity. It doesn't lend to that abundance and prosperity. So I really, we have so much to discuss with our guest, Ling Wang. So I would love to take you guys to our sponsor messages. And I really just want to take a moment to thank our sponsors, to thank all of those who are supporting us. Listen, there's so many ways to support Z Nation. We're all on the same team. What we're doing is the same thing that you're doing in a different way. And if you are at all, you know, inspired or you're moved, or, you know, you love our show, let us know. Let us know by sending us messages. Let us know by leaving reviews on our podcast, leaving reviews on the YouTube station, on any of the shows. The more feedback you give us, the more exposure Z Nation gets, and the more people are finding out about what we're doing. And if you go to our website, ZNationRadio.com, there's an opportunity to leave us your email address so we can stay in touch with you. There's an opportunity to join our marketing partnerships. We have a variety of ways that you can, sponsor and be partners with Z Nation, whether it's a financial contribution, it's a barter exchange, or you're part of our conscious business directory on our website. There's something for everybody wherever you are.
There's a diversity in what we're able to offer you. We understand it. Like we were talking about, like you can't just quit your job and do, you know, all this stuff. You know, you have to feel grounded. So we have a lot of options to help anyone's budget or contribute in any way. So like, don't be afraid to come to us. Like if you really enjoy this and you really support what we're doing, and you know, you want to be a part of that and like bring your community to this, like give us a shout out.
Give us a shout out. So we're going to be right back with our guest right after these messages from our amazing sponsors right here on SoFloRadio.com.
Tune in to get tuned in. This is Z Nation on SoFloRadio.com.
Add a twist of yoga.
Yoga Twist with Julie.
A great way to integrate yoga, meditation, and lots of fun.
Promote family bonding. Help with flexibility and exercise. I teach grown-ups too.
Join Julie for beginner and gentle adult classes.
Book a group, family, or one-on-one session now. Email me, yogatwistjulie@gmail.com.
Follow Yoga Twist Julie on Instagram and like Yoga Twist on Facebook for great family lifestyle tips and Yoga Twist events.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Clark, and I'm a yoga teacher and student at I Love Yoga Studio. It's been my privilege to practice, learn, and expand in this place of ever-evolving love and spiritual growth. When you visit, you'll most likely be greeted with a welcome home, and that's exactly how you will feel, at home and free to be. The studio offers yoga classes that meet you at your level of practice with affordable prices. So check out our schedule at www.iloveyogastudio.com. See you on the mat. Namaste.
Join the Z Nation team as a marketing partner. We are always looking for conscious, sustainable businesses to support and share with our growing community. If your business is one that serves humanity and you want the world to know, we want to help you grow. Sponsorship opportunities are available for all budgets and flavors. For more info, call us at 954-604-1290 or visit ZNationRadio.com.
Now, back to Z Nation, your weekly dose of inspiration on SoFloRadio.com.
I wrote a song for our guest, Ling Wang. This for you, girl. Yeah. Ling wong, yo. I kinda like how it sounds. 15 months, 6 figures, 2 babies, 25 hours a week. Who does that? She's an inspiration. Who does that? She's empowering leaders. Who does that? She's gutsy and free, and she believes in you and me. She tells it how it is, and she takes bold actions, and she wants to rock your world. Are you ready? It's Ling Wong, it's Ling Wong, it's Ling Wong, yo. It's Ling Wong, it's Ling Wong. Welcome to the show, Ling.
Ling, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yes! Hi!
Hi! Great to be here.
Oh, it's so great to have you live. I've been such a fan of yours. I get your emails. I don't know for how long I've been getting your emails, but girl, you inspire me. Thank you for being on the show today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
So I'm gonna what did you think of the song?
Love it.
So I'm gonna officially introduce Ling as per your website. So Ling Wong is a business artist, gutsy soul stormer, chief freedom fighter. You're so creative. Will you tell us a little bit more about what that means? What do you do?
I think, you know what, when I came up with the idea of a business artist, it's really about, through business, we're expressing our individuality and originality. I think it's for me and for the people that I work with. If that's not for it, I think, what's the point, right? Go back to a desk job and you get health insurance. So I really believe that business and marketing is not just, cut and dry and you have to be stiff. It is really an opportunity to get our message out, really to express ourselves, to sort of really find it and really it's a means for us to find our place in the community.
Wow.
Yes. And, I wanted to just read your whole page on your website about how you came to what you came to. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but, I love how you write. And I'm just going to read a little bit.
Okay.
So it says, it's not about pounding the pavement and killing yourself day in and day out. It's about having clarity, taking inspired action, implementing focused strategies, and loving life so it will love you back. And then you go on to say, I don't have a rags to riches kind of story to tell. Sorry. But diving into entrepreneurship, I was an overeducated, under-inspired New Yorker with a cushy job. Where's the part about the knitting? Oh, here. I was so good at my job that I got away with working 40 hours a week in a high-strung New York ad agency environment, making a 6-figure salary. But something was missing. I felt bored. I knew there was something else, a purpose, a vision. I started knitting, and that was not the answer. It was depressing. I thought that was funny. And then it goes on to share your story of, studying with IIN, the holistic nutrition company, and then becoming a coach with them. And then shortly after discovering that you had a skill that a lot of people around you didn't have, which is this talent you have for writing in such an authentic, speak to the person's heart, like you just shoot the arrow right to the heart in all of your marketing material. Is this something like you knew about yourself or you just discovered through this process?
No, I discovered through the process. In fact, who would have thought that I would be writing? English is my second language, and
Wow.
Yeah. And, I started doing a lot of visual stuff and, I can do marketing strategy. I can write boring documents, but never really thought about, sort of like a more creative side of writing until I started marketing myself, right? Oh, people say you have to do blogging. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'll try it, no problem, whatever. So I started, you got to start somewhere, right? This is what I tell people when they say, oh, I can write or I can blog. I started writing really I'm just like go out, look for what other people are talking about and write an excerpt of it. Okay, so I started writing. And then I started doing those like boring, okay, these are the 5 steps to something, 7 ways to something, get it in gear, but still not where I am at or not what mostly people see these days. But that actually got me to the realization that I am not going to stay writing those 7 simple step stuff because that doesn't scratch the itch for me. There's something more. I want to write something that means something. I don't want to be writing to drive traffic.
I think that's what I love about you. One of the things I love about you is just there's an authenticity behind I'm going to call your pitch, that I don't see anywhere else. And I know you teach that to people. Like, where did you learn this? You went from being, a corporate environment, right? And doing what you did to doing this. Did you study it yourself?
I think the better question is, where did I unlearn it?
Where did you unlearn? Yeah.
I think it's the process that I went through. It's kind of like you learn the rule before you can break it. When I started out as a coach, as an entrepreneur, I did all the marketing training, do it by the books, right? And it started to become apparent what didn't fit, what was not in alignment. And maybe a year and a half ago, or 2 years ago, it's just like one thing leads to another. I started working with a business coach who is sort of like has that spiritual thing going on anyway. And she pointed me to this other, I don't even know what she calls her. She's an coach, hand analyst, a seer, all that stuff, right? Mushed into one.
Yes.
And basically helped me through a, lack of a better word, a process or a unprocess to sort of really question everything about, okay, you're doing this way, but is it what you have been told, or is it what is going to be truly an expression of what I want to say? And it is a lot of, cultivating the awareness, because we have been inundated with education and information and blueprints and systems, and you do this, and this is like, your path to 6 figures, right? We're not. So there are 2 folds, I think, that has to happen, is the awareness and the desire to do something that is in alignment with your message and with who you are. Less of a woo-woo way of saying it's like, what is your personality, right? If you're not expressing your personality, people are not going to connect with your stuff.
Wow. Yeah. I see oftentimes people will, go to other people's websites that are doing something similar and get inspired by that, and use it as a model. That's what we do. Let's see what's working out there and, take from it what works for us and take from other people. And what I'm hearing you say is actually there's something missing in that process that would be more authentic to really create a product that is reflective of our authentic self.
Yeah, and I'm not saying reinvent, like do something different and just like rebel against everything, because reinventing the wheel is stupid. But
yeah,
I think it's like that level of trust and awareness in listening to yourself and saying like, okay, is this in alignment with my voice, with who I want to be in this world? And that requires a very strong conviction in what you are about, what you want to be known for. And also, like, you just have to stand by it. You have to be so clear that this is your mission in life, because there's so many things, so many bright, shiny objects that can, just completely derail you and send you down the rabbit hole of doing busy work for 6 months, going down the wrong way.
Yeah.
And I call that negative productivity, because you think you're doing stuff, but you're not. You're actually taking time away from the stuff that you actually need to be doing. So I think that's one thing I know I'm on a roll here.
No, it's perfect.
Girl, just roll.
That's where I am right now. It's like, what's my niche? Who do I want to connect with? Like, how do I want to represent? Because, there's a billion yoga teachers, there's a billion business people. Like, what makes you different? And what makes you different is just being authentic and telling your story and speaking from you. And you're going to connect with whoever is going to connect with that story and who you are.
Yeah, totally. And I think this is what so many people, when they sort of like encounter the idea of business and marketing, is that they feel like, oh, it has to be like, I have to sound this way. And they are more concerned about, oh, do I sound right? Am I writing it right? Instead of, am I really communicating my story, my conviction? And my latest thing is like, at the end of the day, sales and marketing is really one person at one end communicating with a human being at the other end.
Yes.
And when we look at all these like systems and one-to-many marketing and blueprints and all these things and technology, like that, that human connection is lost.
Yes, I just got your email, the last one, about how technology gets in the way for people. And I really appreciated what you said, how people will, not take certain actions because they don't have certain things automated or set up, and how you started your business, slideberry.com. Like, you just put up a website with WordPress and just got it going. And you started making 6 figures pretty quickly, and before you had any of that stuff set up.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy. I was emailing out digital files, like thousands of dollars of digital files manually with like a hand type little note saying, "Thank you, I really appreciate your business. Let me know how I can help. Here are your files attached. Bye, have a great weekend."
Wow.
Yeah. And that was, it sounds a little funny and maybe a little stupid from the perspective of some other people, but that is how and I think how it all got started is that human connection, that I really have a dialogue with the people that I serve.
Yes.
So what would you give like somebody who's just starting to, create themselves? Like, what directions would they go, or what mistakes do people make? Like, just at the beginning, what would you tell somebody to get started in that?
Like a foundation.
Thing. Yeah.
It's interesting because I also see it, and this is like a chicken and egg thing, right? You need clarity to take action, and you need action to inform more clarity. So I'm not saying like sit on your bum and try to sort of like get your niche to like perfect. Get your stuff to perfect before you put your things out. But at the same time, you can't just say, oh, okay, I pick a niche from this niche menu because people say it's viable, and I'm going to jump in and do all the busy work, and then 6 months later figure out that this is not what you want to be doing. So I think there's really having that balance of really knowing what you want to bring to the world, what your conviction and beliefs are, and start doing something like, okay, I think I want to be serving these people in this capacity. This is what I believe in, and put it out there. What I like to say is rapid prototyping in the from my online marketing days. Is you just have to get out there, put it out there, and see. It's not just to see if it sells. It's also see if you want to work with these people in this capacity. Is it what really makes your heart sing?
Yes. So
yes. And then one important thing is that when you take action, it's not swirling in your head, right? You will be required to make decision, and each decision is an opportunity to get more clarity.
And I know you work with a lot of people, and you probably see a lot of the same things. Like, if you were to write a report right now, what would be the 3 biggest mistakes that people do in putting themselves out there? Maybe 1, whatever you want.
I think there's like the one big thing that I see so many people come to me with. And that actually breaks down into sort of like 3 part. most of the people who come to me, it's not their first rodeo. They have taken those guru stuff. They have done those marketing training, and they're still like, oh my God, why am I not getting results, quote unquote, as advertised? So they're frustrated. And these and the people who come to me, they are mostly multi-talented and multi-passionate. So it's not like, okay, look, here's the blueprint, here's the niche menu, take one, go for it, right? Because I think what is fundamentally wrong with this model for the people who come to me is that when we are asked to chop off an arm and a leg to fit into a box, not all of ourselves are being acknowledged. And when we leave part of us behind, it's not going to work.
No, there's an impact to that. Yeah.
And a lot of times these sort of piecemeal systems ask us to, okay, forget about this part and just go do this other thing. But there's no synergy in there. And a lot of people, especially the multi-talented, multi-passionate people who has that kind of awareness, cannot just, it's just like you can't do it consciously. So I think, with that, the mistake that people going down that route is that you don't take into account who you are and what truly matters to you. When you sort of just, just do it, follow the strategy, follow the tactics.
Yes.
And the problem is, if you're not fully sold by how you communicate your message, how can you expect others to buy into you?
Because you're not really selling something, you're expressing your story, really. Is that kind of like it? It's I think that's what happens. People they feel like they're selling something, but really it's you're expressing a story because this is a part of you, kind of.
Yeah, it is your story. No matter. And that's so funny when I see people who are, essentially they should be doing more of a personality-driven brand, and that they hide behind a logo and sort of try to sound big, but in fact they will be more client attractive if they put the story and the personality out there.
Wow,
you don't know how many people you just helped right now. No, you don't understand.
hit the nail on the something. I really love what you're saying, Ling, about personality-driven marketing. Really, and we all are so unique in our own way. And, that's one of the things that yoga and the teachings teach us is, be yourself, be unique, and be loud about it. And I love, I'm looking at your website right now, the way things are written. Just, I get your personality through the website. And if y'all want an example of personality-driven marketing, Ling's website and her business is I'm in love with you just from your emails. And I think that's what you're talking about. I feel like I've known you. Right? And it's effective when the person on the other end feels really connected to you. And, I called Ling because I actually responded to an email, but, I wrote back, I said, I really like you. I really want to do business with you. However it looks like, I wanted to be involved with her, and you're right. That strategy, let's call it, does make you look bigger. And I don't mean in an ego way. It's just your marketing works. It really does. And I would hope so, because that's your business.
It sets you apart.
Yeah. And I think, I think this is not there is a process that you go through to really have to take apart all the preconception, sort of what things supposed to be, and really bust a lot of fears and things in your head before you can actually put yourself out there in such a vulnerable way. And that's a lot of things, and that's sort of my thing is, my biggest sort of thing that I was working through is the fear of being vulnerable, being in front of people. And I truly believe that this, through this business, this is one of the things that I am here to learn, is the connection, is the vulnerability, is how you sort of like be out there and connect. And this is even of a bigger challenge in this day and age of online marketing, right?
Yes.
How are you going to really come through a page, through an audio, through a video? And most of the stuff we see online is still text. So basically, how do you come through via text, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there is a challenge for many people, but I think the fundamental hurdle is not that you cannot write. It is what is holding you back from truly writing like yourself.
Yes. Yeah. It's interesting with the writing. I totally agree with that. I love to write, and oftentimes because I'm in like CEO managerial mode, I have to like get out of that mode and get into writing creative mode. Mm-hmm. And when I'm there, which is a space of like just quiet and quiet down my mind, it's amazing what flows through me, and it's just that. And I've in the past I have said, I'm not a writer, but then I wrote a book, and then I said, okay, I am a writer, but I don't enjoy writing. But then I realized that wasn't true either. I do enjoy writing. It's such an amazing relief after I write, and it requires me being responsible for the space that I need to be in when I'm going to write.
Yeah, that space is, I love what you said about that space. I think it is really about. It's not about holding us. It's not about being safe in a space, but for me, it is a space that I can actually challenge myself.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
I know a lot of people saying, "Oh, it is a safe space. You feel like you're supported and all that." But I think sometimes this space needs to make you uncomfortable to really get to the core of what you're here to, sort of what comes through you, because I feel like sometimes I look back to what I write, I'm like, did I really write that? So I feel like in a way there is something that wants to come through via my keyboard.
Yes.
That and that is the space that you have to be sort of take away the censorship of the ego mind so that it can just come out.
Yeah, like stop, like no force. Like the minute you feel like you're forcing it, that's when you stop sounding authentic. Because that's what I noticed with me. When I just let it free flow and just be who I am, it's easier for the words to come out. But when I'm like feeling like, oh, does this sound like this or this sounds like that, then I start seeing that it starts just stripping away from who I am.
And the ego mind is like the part of us that's like wondering, is it going to sound good? Are people going to like it?
Yeah.
All that stuff. Like, do you have instances, Ling, where you'll write something and like before you send it, like it really makes you nervous?
Oh yeah.
You're like, oh my God, here it goes.
Same. Oh my God.
Absolutely.
That's a good sign, yeah.
Yeah, in fact, not so much lately, because I feel like I've went through that hump.
Yes.
There was a period where I'm, working with this coach, and I'm really like getting down to the bottom of things, like basically undoing everything. Every single time I write something and hit publish or hit send or hit schedule, it was like, holy crap.
And like you said, you went through the hump of it, and that was like the muscle you kept practicing, that vulnerability muscle, until now you're not comfortable with it, but your muscle has evolved.
And it's perspective, right? It is about what is more important, like being liked by people, being said about stuff that people who unsubscribe write about you, or really saying like, this is what I need to tell the world, and the people who resonate will get a lot out of it.
Wow. I just got something, like, it's like, often people try to fit, their message and themselves into what's expected out there.
Yes.
But, what you're saying to our listeners is just be yourself. And like you said, some people may unsubscribe and not like you, but that's going to happen the more you put yourself out there in the world, especially as a vulnerable being. You will get lovers and haters, and some people are ready for the message and some people are not.
And some people are just jerks, and
I love her rawness.
I know, me too. I appreciate people's rawness, and I think a lot of people appreciate that. Like, especially like I tell people, like when they ask me like, so who are you? What's your yoga? And I'm like, raw and real, and it's not the fluffy, because a lot of people think like when you do yoga, you're like this fluffy person, and I'm like, I could go and be that, but that's not really me.
No.
So I had to really just change all of it, and I'm still in that process of getting over that hump too, where it's like to stop trying to go back and be something that I know I'm not, and just
Sunset be like, you're a jerk, namaste bitches.
that, right? And it's like your expression, right? I recently we moved to Marin County in San Francisco Bay Area, and I started to get back onto my road bike. And what I find to be even more meditative than meditation, because I have problem sitting still, is climbing some like crazy steep mountains for like 30 minutes. Like that put me in meditative mode. I'm like, okay, so be it. I go meditate every day and burn 1,000 calories. Fine.
Oh, that's beautiful. And the view must be really beautiful, and you're out in nature. Ling, I know you have 2 kids, right?
Yes.
How old are they?
They are 3 and 6.
Wow. Those are 2 full-time job ages.
Yeah.
I bring that up because I know there's a lot of mothers listening, and I know that you raised 2 children while building this business, and I'd love to hear more about that, and anything you have to say to women right now who have children, expecting children, and who work or have their own business.
I have a pretty interesting discussion with another mompreneur that we did an interview, and I think one of the things that I'm just going to be just like poke at people is that calling, being a this is something that we sign up for, and there are perks and there are responsibilities. So we're not going to be sort of like, this like, I'm building a business as a mompreneur. It's a label. It's kind of a label that sometimes give us excuse to say, oh, I'm not doing that because, I'm a mom with, 2 kids and I have to right?
Yes.
I think if the drive is strong enough, you make it work, and that may involve you are going. I put the kids in front of the TV for an hour or 2 if I have to finish work. I'm like, fine, they won't die.
Yes.
They go to school, they have activities, then I need to take them out to the park, and now they're home, and I need to finish my work. I turn on the TV for an hour and a half. Like, don't feel guilty that you have to be this like, model mom every single minute.
Whatever that means, right? The model mom.
Word. Because like everybody's different, so it's like,
and there's also and that's also boundary that I know most of us work at home, so and you really need to train the people around you that you being at home doesn't mean that you are available 24/7.
Yes, I had that problem for a while too.
Well, especially if you work at home, like creating that discipline with yourself and also the people around you, so they're clear that mommy work time is now and playtime is now.
Exactly. I mean, of course there are days that you have to be on the phone and the kid is just not cooperating, so it's also your schedule, and I always sort of like tell people before we get on the phone, like, okay, if you want to book this time, I will be happy to chat with you, but just know that my 6-year-old may need attention once or twice.
Yes.
And most people are very understanding, so it just make it part of who you are, and work around it.
Yes, and it's not like it's something to hide or use as an excuse. It just is. And it's just be a mother who has a business, and be real about it.
Yeah.
Be real about what you need. Make powerful requests of people. I think a lot of times people, especially women, we after the feminist movement thought we had to get very independent and we don't need anybody. And sometimes, we can request the support of our entire community. It does take a community to raise a child. So
yeah, the workforce is definitely changing because it was like that. It was very male dominated, and so you had to almost like hire your kids, and if you had kids it was like, oh my god, now like my whole life is over. And it shouldn't be like that. Like, you should have options. Like, if you want to have a kid and have your own business and do all that, then it's okay. And it's like being authentic. Like, yeah, if you call me my 6-year-old and he's important to me too, and it's like, not like you said, not hiding it, because if you hide it, then you're closing the door for other people to try to like break through that too. Yeah. So it's like, I'm so happy you're making a stand and like, doing that and not like just being you and just being authentic and not putting yourself in that box. So thank you so much, like, for real.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing to say is, for a lot of people, especially coaches and consultants and service professionals, change agents, you want to set your hours. At the very least, your client hours. I mean, sometimes I would be wrapping up, sort of the administrative stuff, after dinner in front of the TV, brainless stuff. But at the time that you get on the phone with clients, the time that you need to be fully present, that needs to be a container, a time frame where you can be yourself. Like, you can just like, okay, after I cook dinner, I can squeeze you as a client in at 7:30 because it's not fair for anybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you got to be fully on. Wow, Ling, thank you so much for blessing us with your wisdom, your knowledge, your expertise. So people can contact you at Slideberry. That's the word slideberry.com.
That's my other business, but along the line of what we're talking about right now, I would love for you to find me at business-soulwork.com.
Ooh, business-soulwork. I love that.
Yeah, so it's business-soulwork, SOULWORK.com.
Beautiful.
And if that's okay, I would love to share a free gift with your audience.
Sure, yes. Please tell us more.
Okay, so this is the How to Design Your Winning Formula free training. It's really along the line of what we talk about. It may sound a little bit like sort of alpha, and like your winning formula, but it is like your winning formula. So it is not about other people's formula. It is yours.
Beautiful. So I just went to it, business-soulwork.com. You put your email address, and you guys are going to love what Ling puts out there. And it's so helpful. I'm just starting slowly to work with Ling, and I had my first coaching call with you, Ling, a week or two ago, and we were on the phone for not even, I would say, 20 minutes.
It was a 20-minute call, yeah.
Yeah, like we created my whole business for 2016. I'm already in action with what she shared with me. You really have a gift, Ling, of listening, seeing the greatness in people, and seeing a perspective that we just can't see. You really have that vision, and you're so present. So thank you. Yeah.
Really appreciate you. You have great energy too, and I really love this conversation and what you put out there. I know we can go on all day, but
yes. Word, because I can keep asking questions and questions.
Well, we'd love to have you on again, perhaps in 2016.
Absolutely, hit me up.
Yes, and we will be posting the links to the website on the YouTube station and on our website, so y'all can tune in more to what Ling is up to. I highly recommend you sign up for her work on business-soulwork.com. Get connected with her, get to know what she's doing, and ultimately, learn so that we can all grow and be, really more effective and in getting our message out authentically to the people who require, our help, our healing, our work. So thank you, Ling.
Thank you so much.
Love you. Thank you for being an inspiration. Thank you for taking risks and teaching us to do the same.
Word. Thank you so much.
All right. We'll talk to you soon.
All righty.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Peace out.
Okay. Wow, that was
like an amazing download.
Yes.
Because I wrote that marketing on my vision board or brainstorming board, and it was marketing, but it was like that marketing so I can express who I truly am. And that's why I tell people, write it down, think about it, and the answers will come to you. And like just this little snippet she just did, it's gonna help so many people.
Yes.
Because people need this.
I love what she said about people hiding behind our logos, you know? And it really struck a chord with me. I actually took my personal website down recently because we started Z Nation, you know, and then I realized, whoa, I'm hiding behind Z Nation now. And I didn't do it like intentionally, and maybe I did. But, you know, I'm excited because I'm going to be working with her as my consultant and coach to create my brand, like who Zayna is, you know, beyond Z Nation, beyond I Love Yoga, beyond anything, like what is my authentic expression in the world. So really, really exciting stuff. Here she says, brain flossing, truth-telling articles. Man, her writing is just hilarious. She really speaks in a way like that really gets your attention. So, I recommend check her out. How much time do we have?
We have 10 minutes.
10 minutes? What are we going to talk about?
For 10 minutes. Well, since we're talking about marketing, I love what she said about the writing. And I really want to learn how to be authentic and write, and even if it's just not a lot, like every word to be fruitful and to just express who I am, because I feel like I was saying before, when I do that, people are like, wow.
Are you going to revise your website after this interview?
Oh, hell yeah.
Me too.
I already have time for that. I already said like Suki, another friend of ours, she was on the show. She gave us like a really good marketing sheet. I'm going to look at that. I'm going to look at what Ling did, because that's really what I want. I don't want to be like everyone else. I want to just be me, and that's it.
And portray that, like really have that out there.
Word.
So maybe you could talk a little bit about the process you did yesterday. Sunset sent me an awesome text message yesterday, and you took the time to organize really your energy and where it's going. So what did you do?
So basically what I did was, in teacher training, we got taught how to do a vision board or like a brainstorming board. So you put your name in the middle, and then you write, like you put like little lines to your other little worlds. So mine was like travel, learning, well-being, social,
like all the different areas where your energy and time would go into.
Exactly. And then from there I wrote, like for instance, for well-being, I did like food or something,
drink water, meditate, do
and
your
then
exercise.
For learning I put like I really want to do tantra, and then I want to I love the Shakti stuff, and I also wanted to like do other teacher training, so I kind of put that there. And then for me myself, like my website and the private sessions I want to start doing, and the chakra stuff. And you know, at first I looked at it and I'm like, oh my god, like where am I gonna find time in the week to do all this? And then I realized it's like, just create it. Like for instance, Shakti, like Zayna wants to put that into her classes, so I can just go and take a class for an hour and just get that download. I don't have to be like pulling her out of her day when she's trying to create, you know, to have that separate time, which I would love that, but it's like, create it. You know,
I read this thing the other day that said people are not busy all the time. They just have priorities.
Yeah, I respect your time, and you know, we're really close, and so I know that you have a lot going on. So it's like, I'm going to create it for myself. And like you said, not waiting around for approval. Right. I was like, you know what? Like, I could sit down and do this with somebody, but I'm like, I already know what I need to do is just put my big girl panties on and like get going, and at least make a foundation. And then if you want to have someone look at it, like, cool, like go through it, but like get the foundation stuff, you know, get clear where you want to put your energy. Cause I was not very clear. Like I was all over the place.
When you're clear, you can start to prioritize, you know, like if you're putting your time and energy into something right now that you don't want to do in the future, then start to look how you can remove this from your time and your energy, because right now it's being wasted in that area. And it's okay, because you can gradually take it out, but like start creating time. And I say creating time, like Sunset said, like we really do create the time. Be a master of your time. The biggest thing I tell people to create time is learn how to say this word, no.
Say no.
Learn to say no. And it's so I know it was challenging for me because I'm a nurturer, I'm a giver, I want to help. I'm the person you go see when you want anything done. You know, they say if you want something done, give it to a busy person. That's me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I've recently learned, like, yes, I can say no, and I can give myself like a day or half, whatever, to do nothing, to have nothing planned in my calendar and allow myself to just flow in that space and really focus on the things that I want to do. And you know, my biggest problem has been there's too many things I love to do. So how do I get it all in? Well, just prioritize. You have your whole life. You know, get everything on paper, get it all out of your head. Like Sunset said, take a board out, write everything down that you want to do in your life that you're present to right now, and then prioritize and take one thing at a time. This year, I'm focusing on these things, and then everything else, you can just shelf it. You don't have to get it all done now because I know you have a lot of ideas. Suki, I know you have 30 books you want to write. You know, I have books I want to write. I want to do yoga videos. I mean, my ideas list can be overwhelming.
God. The to-do list is like...
But the thing is, it doesn't have to all get done. Like, you know, when we started the show today, we were stressing a little bit because we couldn't get the technology down, you know. And I said to Sunset, you know, let's chill because... really, we're creating this stress. You know, nobody is expecting anything from us. Nobody is expecting anything from you except your own expectations.
Right.
So, you know, and take it step by step. Action creates your reality. So keep taking those actions. And then the more actions you take in alignment with what you're up to, your purpose, your vision, things will begin to manifest. And don't be attached to how they manifest. You know, things may show up and you're like, I wasn't expecting it like this. It's okay. The universe just shows up.
It provides, you know, it'll provide in different ways. Like I was saying earlier, I wanted to do Shakti. And I was like, oh, you teach a class? Great. Then that's what I'm going to do. And that's how I'm going to learn, you know, even if it's just reading a book. Like I want to learn about this, read a book, whatever. And it makes you value your time because your time is sacred. And then as you do that with the things you want to do, it's going to show like who do you want to have in your energy too, you know, because when you're creating your life, there's going to be certain people that you might have to let go. And it's because how are you, like, you know, if I'm going to have this amount of time, there's only 24 hours in a day, you know, like if you're not going to be, I don't want to say you're not going to be a benefit to me, but you know, it's just really like just your time, and you're gonna end up cleaning out everything, your friends, even family, sometimes your home, you know, energy. You want that energy to just flow, and you know, sometimes you gotta let go of certain things for a little while or forever, whatever, and that's okay because nothing is permanent, but it's just you want to have some type of a foundation, some type of schedule in a way to work with. So that way is when, like for me, I hate when it's time for me to have social time and like relax time and I'm thinking about something I haven't done yet.
Yes.
So I'm like, I'm tired of that. I want to just be with people, and a part of being with people is not having a bunch of other things in your head, and you want to be spontaneous, and you can't do that when you have all this other stuff in your head. So prioritize and make that time for you.
Let's take a breath. So wherever you are, sit up. If you can, close your eyes. I want to share with you a mantra. Hamni hum brahmam. Hamni hum brahmam. I am that I am. 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 These two words, I am, very powerful words, and what comes after I am is important. I am that I am. Hamni hum brahmam. I am whoever I say I am. I am not defined by my past. I am not defined by what you think of me. I am not defined by my body, my thoughts, or my emotions. I am that I am. And And when I honor this about me, I can honor it in you. I only see the greatness within me. I only see the greatest within you. I create you creating me. I have a song for y'all, closing. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you. And the pure light within you guide your way on. Guide your way on.
Beautiful.
Peace out, light workers, lovers. Thank you so much for the work that you do. Thank you for being a bright light. Thank you for giving others hope, inspiration, wisdom. Thank you for being the light. We know who you are. We see you. You are thebomb.com. No more hiding.
No.
Just being ourselves. Authentic.
Speak your truth.
For real. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.
From high atop 1926 Hollywood Boulevard, you're listening to SoFloRadio.com.